Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another installation of And She Rants. Oh, ah, ah. Now, this is just an introduction. The show will blow your mind. The show was all of that, and yes, we do it all the time. This is all the. Just don't go, no. My posse and my crew, we all of that. Today's topic is do it now. Not do it tomorrow, not do it next week, not do it in 2019, next semester, next cycle. Do it, right now, today. I'm bringing up this topic because it's something that's come up a lot with my conversations with friends of mine and talking about what is the purpose that's on our life, what are we supposed to be doing? And it's also come up in topics a lot during church, both at the home church that I attend, which is One Church LA. Pastor Terry Roberts has been talking a lot about our purpose and what we're supposed to be doing, and right now being the time of the harvest. And also, when I opened up my computer trying to look at other sermons, trying to get in the word during the week, there they go, talking about doing things right now and not being wasting time and not being stagnant. So today's topic is about doing it now, and 3 things that may help you if you're anything like me. And hearing someone say do it now is kind of like, oh, no, I'm sorry. That gives me anxiety. I actually like to procrastinate. That's how I get things done. That's how I stay comfortable, is knowing that I actually don't need to work on this right now and waiting until the last minute to get it done, and then just kind of like stressing myself out. And then it's like, oh, it happened. Well, it happened on time. So if you're anything like that, if you're anything like me, I have 3 things I'm going to tell you that are going to help you figure out how to work through the urgency that's on the call that's on your life. Okay, so the first thing is, in order to do it now, you need to figure out, what is it? What is the it that I need to be doing right now? Okay, so people like me, people like my friends, have a lot of things that they want to do in life. You know, I'm like, oh, okay, I want to write, and I want to be a writer, and I want to do YouTube videos, and I want to have a podcast, and I want to sing, and, you know, I want to create something, I want to build something, and I want to do a really great job at my job and have a really great career in tech, and I also want to travel, and I also want to do fashion. There are just so many things that I'm interested in, that I have a passion for, that I want to be doing. And sometimes the clutter of all of those things confuses me in terms of, okay, which one do I work on and which one is important? And I think, you know, if you're at work, sometimes they say, like, what's the most urgent and important thing? What is the thing that has the most urgency? And what is the most important thing that I need to be working on? And I think it's really important for us to identify the most urgent and important thing in our lives. Out of all of the giftings we have, out of all of the things we can accomplish, out of all the things we can execute, what is the most urgent and important thing that contributes to the call that's on our lives? Figuring out that it was really important for me to shut out the clutter and the noise of all the other things I'm trying to add onto my plate and use that actually ultimately end up being distractions, even though they're things I'm supposed to do and that I will eventually get to. I think that's important for us to realize that if you are focusing on like 100 things, you lose the amount of effort that you're putting into that urgent and important thing. And each of them get less of you than they should. So if you have someone who has multiple ideas, multiple things to work on, figure out that most urgent and important, give it your all, and watch and realize how it opens up opportunities. Maybe it gives you a platform. Maybe it gives you resources that allow you to work on these other things that you're excited about. So figure out your most urgent and important things. Figure out the it so that you can do it now. That's number 1. I feel like a preacher, okay? Because I was just going and I was like, and here we are. The second thing is, focus on progression, not perfection. The second thing is that you need to focus on progression, not perfection. I'm going to tell you a story. So I have a bunch of mentors, but I have one mentor and I really respect him because we're nothing alike. I mean, nothing alike. And the reason that's so important is because I'm a very emotional person. He's not. He helps me realize when I'm being emotional in situations that I don't need to be. He helps me reel it in. He helps me think about the strategic way to consider different experiences that I have at work and about like the career that I want and the trajectory I want to go on in my life and with my career in tech. So it's really important to me that I have him in my life. And I had this one instance where we were talking and I was like, yeah, you know, I have a YouTube channel. And, you know, sometimes you're like, should I really tell you that I have a YouTube channel? You do work with me. I'm not sure. Do you really need to be seeing me? do you really need to be seeing my different hair lengths that are happening? You know, do you even know that this is not me? Or I don't know. You know, it's unclear. It's unclear. But I told him about that. And he was like, yeah, I've seen them. I saw one of them on LinkedIn. And I was like, oh, great. And he was like, yeah, like, you know, I had to stop watching because the video quality was just so poor. And let's hold, the old me, like old me, maybe pre-Jesus me, maybe just emotional me would have been like, what you mean, like video quality? Actually, you know what? Because this is work and this is like in that situation, I probably would have been like, and then on the inside, I'm like fuming. I'm like, can't believe you said that. That's so rude. Like, blah, blah, blah. They say people never believe in you. You got to believe in yourself. Like, just drama in my head. But the new me was able to realize a couple of things and take some lessons out of that. The first is that, you know what? That was a good suggestion. It was helpful criticism of someone's experience of what I was doing that made it difficult for them to keep watching. So I thought, okay, do you know anything about lighting? Can you give me some tips? And he did. And he offered me some tips and he told me about some lights that I should go and get. So he was talking about the shadows, that shadowy place, you know, behind me that you see sometimes. So he helped me figure out the right lighting. And I now went and started doing some research and looking at pricing and figuring out, okay, what am I going to do to step my video quality up to the next level, since this is something that I think I should be working on. And I think is important to my call and what I'm supposed to be doing in my life. So I figured that out, looked at some lighting and all of that. But guess what? That suggestion and me looking into lighting has not stopped me from making videos. As you can see, that shadowy place still exists here. And I realized that there's a really important lesson in understanding that people's criticism or what you think they'll say or what they actually say should not stop you from doing what it is that you know you need to do, even if it's in a place that's not perfect. Receive what people say to help you get to the next level. Put a plan in place to implement that thing, but do not stop where you are. Do not stop until you get that perfect thing. Keep going, because what's more important than the perfection is the consistency, because God rewards consistency and people reward consistency. You will watch that. There may be someone who does a really perfect job at something and they're awesome at the first time, but you have another person who's very dedicated to the work and works hard and comes every day and does their best and actually ends up meeting that bar. Like, people are rewarded for their consistency just as much as they are in their ability to execute. And when you are able to get to that next level, you will, because you're committed to doing your best and bringing the best for the people who are consuming what you're producing. But I'm not going to stop making my videos. I'm not going to stop doing exactly what I need to do. And guess what? Nobody said that I should. And that is one of the most important things I think that my growth has taught me, is that receiving that criticism and saying, okay, there's a next level for me in what I'm doing, but I'm going to keep going at the level that I'm at and watch myself get rewarded for that consistency. So that is really important for us to remember, that you don't have to be at a place of perfection, worrying about getting to satisfy everybody's needs and requests for you, because if you try to do that, you'll never start, because you'll never be able to satisfy everyone's requests. Not at level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of whatever it is that you're doing. So you have to make sure that you're committed to just doing the thing that you know you need to do and allowing it to grow and get better and better over time, because you've been consistent and you've now gotten resources because of that consistency in what you've done. The third thing, the piece of advice I have for you who are struggle with doing it now, is to remember this. The world is waiting for you to do the thing that you were called to do, but the world will not wait forever. The world will not wait forever for you to do what you're called to do. I think that sometimes we get this wrong. We think, of course, this is what I'm called to do. God told me. God told me I'm going to be this person. God told me I'm going to change this industry. God told me I'm about to, be this, be that, be this, be that. But guess what? We still have choice. If you don't say yes to what you were called to do, if you don't do the work of what you need to do to get to the level of the promise that you're thinking about, excuse me, why do you think that suddenly the world's going to stop and the need's not going to be met because of you? Because if God promised to heal the world or give something to his people, through an idea. That idea can easily go to somebody else, okay? I know this personally in my own life. When I decided to move to LA, there was just an idea that I had, and I was so excited about it. Like, I'm going to work on this thing, and it's going to change everything, and it's going to change the world, and it's going to help people, and blah, blah, blah. And here we are, years later, no work on it, nothing done. And I was scrolling just, through the interwebs, and I saw not the idea, but an aspect of it that could, prop someone else's mind to think of the idea that I'm just sitting on. And I realized that if I wait forever, what needs to be done will be done. Because if I don't say yes to the call, somebody else will. If I'm not obedient to what I need to do, somebody else will be. Okay? Somebody else will be obedient to do the thing that you refuse to do. And you will watch confused, wondering, oh, that's my idea. Actually, no, it was God's idea. And he wanted to use you as a vessel. But since you said no, he will be using Shelby. Okay? Hey, Shelby, you got the idea now. You're the one who was able to make this happen. You have to know that if you do not do it now, it may happen without you. If you do not do what you need to do now, if it's an idea for the world, if it's something that is bigger than you, if it doesn't just affect your outcome of your life, it will still happen. The world moves on. You realize that. Tomorrow's not promised. People come and go, and it's been scary for me, like seeing just so much, like such the reality of how life is so short. And you watch that people go, and life literally moves on. Life moves on without them. And it's not just after people die that life moves on. It's when you don't do what you need to do, when you don't answer the call that God's put on you, life moves on. The idea still happens. The thing that God wanted to do in the earth still comes to pass. So do not think that you can be lazy forever saying, I'll get to it, I'll get to it, I'll get to it. If it's urgent and if it's important, and if God said do it now, you better do it now, sis, or you might miss out. That is the end of my rant. Thank you for joining. If you agree, disagree, let me know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Anyway, I'll see you next time for the next rant. Bye.